What's up, guys? My name is Andre, and in this video we're going to be covering the opening stats report on edgeful.com. So to start things off, we're going to be looking at YM in the last 6 months in the New York session. This is very important that you understand what the implications of this are. I'm going to touch on that in just a second. But pretty much, very simply, this report measures how often do we open above previous session's high, between or within previous session's range, and below previous session's low. So let me show you a few examples here. Really important that you know that we are looking only at the price action within these blue boxes because we're looking at the New York session here. If we were to be looking at the London session here, you would be looking at the data at these ranges here. So I'm going to cover the New York session first, and then if you want access to these indicators, go off to the right side here, put your TradingView username in this box. You can find your TradingView username here at the top left, right over here. Once you put your name in that box, they're going to show up in your invite only right here. The market sessions is the one that I'm using. So you can see that in the last 6 months on YM in the New York session, 65, almost 66% of the time, price is going to open within yesterday's range. So now, I mentioned the New York session. This is very important. So now here, let's pretend that this is yesterday right here, and this is today. The previous New York high is right there. The previous New York low is right here. The previous New York low is right here. And you can see very obviously that this New York session opened within this range. Now, I'll do a few more examples here. Another one where it opened within the range again. Previous high, previous low, and you can see the open of the session, that 9:30 open is right here. Now let's find an example of where price opened outside of the range. This was an example right here. So previous high over here, previous low down here, previous low right over here. And you can see that price opened below yesterday's low. So that would fall into this category here. Only 15% of the time has price opened in the last 6 months on YM below yesterday's low. So as a swing trader, and this applies to stocks, Forex, crypto, and futures, it doesn't matter what you're looking at, it's just measuring the high and the low of the previous day or the previous session. And I'll just quickly touch on the London here, and I'm going to change my settings to be London. And you can see this day opened below yesterday's low right over here. So the opening price is down here. Here's an example of when price opened within the range. So you can see obviously price opened within yesterday's range. So as a swing trader, if you know that price is typically going to open within yesterday's range right here. So let's use this as a fine example. Getting long here at the low of day near the close, expecting price to rise and open within this area here is higher probability, especially in that New York session. So 65% of the time. So let's switch back to that New York session quickly. So right here, you can see that typically, let's just say in this example here, getting short near the close of the day, and this applies mostly when the close of the day is near the high or the low. So in this case, you can see price is creeping into that 4 p.m. close, and it is near the high of day. In this case, swinging a short position, expecting price to open within this range, which obviously it did, is a high probability setup here. In this case, it would have worked as well. You can get short near the close of the day, expecting price to open within this range. So pretty much the closer to the high of day that you can get, the better, and the closer to the low of day that you can get to be long is better, obviously, because you want it to be like in this case, another great example here. You want the close of the day to be at the extremes of the low or the high, targeting price to do something like this, right? Opening within the range in this manner. We also have this by weekday. So this is just filtering for certain weekdays. So you can see not every weekday behaves the same, right? Like for example, Tuesdays will open within Monday's range 73% of the time. So obviously each instrument will have different stats, but you should definitely keep in mind the personality of the weekday that you're trading. We also have in the what's in place section here, it'll tell you previous day's low, previous day's high, opening price opened within yesterday's range. So you actually don't even have to look at it on your charts. We'll tell you what's going on. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to our support right over here. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.